hear it for MarkedUp.
Woo! Woo! Come on.
All right, everybody. I would tell you a story, but I'd rather tell you how we're going to make a shitload of money instead. So my name is Aaron Standard, and my past year and a half I've worked as a developer evangelist for Microsoft, and so I've probably worked with about 50 companies that do mobile application development. And I came up with the idea for MarkedUp on Thanksgiving when I was reviewing an application that had in the neighborhood of 200 screens. And as part of Microsoft's sort of Windows Phone Showcase program, we have to give pretty detailed UX feedback on all of them. And doing that for a mobile device is a royal pain in the ass. It's been a pain in the ass with every company I've ever worked with, regardless of shape or size. That goes from companies that are publicly traded down to one-man development shops. The issue is that on every other platform when you're developing an application, whether it's a web app or a desktop app, it's really easy to get concise visual feedback that you can share among your team members and communicate when there are issues with the app. Because mobile applications run in a sandbox environment where it's very difficult to take screenshots and even harder to go and edit them, you're forced to sort of get feedback from your early beta testers in the form of War and Peace emails, where they send you a 4,000-word email describing the exact steps to replicate an error none of your developers can understand. So it's a really sort of nasty problem in terms of trying to get concise feedback on what's wrong with your mobile app and how to actually fix it. So what we've done this weekend is we built a mobile component that any mobile developer can drag into their pre-release application and ship out to all their beta testers and developers in order to help expedite the process of building better applications. So I'm going to hand it over to Cam, who's going to test our component.
Sure. All right. So I'm awesome. It's okay. So the app I'm going to this is my own side app, right, Peachy? It's for Atlanta. It's public transportation. The rest doesn't matter because we're in LA. So when you first look at the app, it's like, ugh. All right, there's some wonkiness going here. First thing is the font might be a little too light if you're like colorblind or whatever. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to hit the little pencil here. All right, and then so it takes a screenshot of what we're looking at. So now I'm going to be like, I'm going to circle right here. I'm not doing it right, whatever. And I'm going to tap to give myself a nice text box. We're like, all right, make it, we'll just say darker. Boom. All right, so everything else is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. At this point, it's uploading to like our hosted solution, and then when it's done, boom, it worked. So there you go.
All right, and so then Blake, the UX guy on my team, is going to go ahead and log in via his GitHub account to MarkedUp. So he's going to connect using GitHub. And so now you can see our project, and he's going to drill into a screenshot that was recently submitted. And so if you scroll down a little bit, you can see all the annotations in terms of where they were on screen and a list of them. And developers on our team can add comments and convert these to GitHub issues in order to make it actionable for the developers to actually fix the problems on screen. So that's what our application does. Want to flip over to the pricing? So there's over 160,000 organizations shipping apps on Android, iOS, and Windows Phone 7. That represents a lot of small businesses, ranging from sort of sole proprietors up to massive teams like those you'd find at places like Rovio and Instagram. And so what we've done is we've followed sort of the GitHub-style pricing model to build sort of a recurring revenue business where we have a perpetual free tier available to small teams of developers who want to get a taste of our solution for free before they commit to it, all the way up to a platinum plan for large development shops where they might have a really large team, or they might have thousands of beta testers and might need more sort of storage capacity to handle all that feedback that comes in. And so we did a lot of customer development this weekend. I have a large network of CTOs I work with, but I decided to go ahead and focus our sort of customer development aspect of this presentation on a startup weekend sweetheart, Ian Hunter. So, how do you see this product being used at a real company like Zarly?
So I was actually really drawn to your product almost immediately. The way that we do product dev at Zarly, we start off with a general kind of theme that we want to move forward with, and we let UX run with it. We just come up with a bunch of ideas. And when things change, what you do doesn't come to the point. And that's why I think you guys have a real thing up here. Being able to look directly at what you have currently and annotate and make markup on your product and be able to iterate on that as a visual tool.
How much time would this save your people?
I think I don't want to judge it like time. I want to judge it like a number of pennies saved. And I think it would be a tremendous tool, specifically because the UX guys
So, you got your own mic.
So how much equity did you have to give Ian for the video?
I'm trying to answer this question while understanding I'm also being filmed and people at Microsoft might see it. So I'll leave that at no comment.
How hard was this to do, and how hard would it be to replicate?
Well, the engineering effort to sort of produce a component that needed to be embedded in someone's application wasn't something that we obviously had the time to build this weekend. When you touch other people's code, everything has to work. Our team consists of, probably the most technical team at this startup weekend. I have one really experienced UX and mobile front-end guy, 2 experienced back-end and mobile developers, and then myself, also experienced back-end developer, and an evangelist who's worked with tons of companies. So we really understand what it takes to build a component like this, and we think we can get our full solution into market within 6 to 8 weeks, working part-time on it. Seriously, no further questions?
Talked about a freemium model. How do you stop me from creating multiple freemium accounts and just bypassing your paywall?
So that's good. That's a good question. So the first thing is that our API key is bound uniquely to your application. So for instance, in order for you to go ahead and actually get multiple freemium accounts in place, you'd effectively have to send additional distributions of our API key in your beta apps each time. So if you have a pool of beta testers that sort of exceeds the maximum capacity for that account, you would effectively miss out on feedback. And we send you notifications when you're above quota for any of your plans, letting you know, here's all the user feedback that you can't see this week because you aren't on the right payment plan.
You don't show yourself throttling by beta testers, though.
So in terms of the touch points beta testers have with us, they just see the little pencil icon or whatever Chromeless UI we have. And they also have the ability to go, and we didn't implement this weekend, but they'll have the ability to provide an email address if developers want to get back in touch with them and ask them some specific questions about how they use the app.